As we are drawing towards the end of the year, we'll need to look at things to do with budgets. And definitely with cybersecurity, the way budgets are increasing and the way CISOs are put in a state where they need to keep on adjusting the amount of money. We made a joke in one of these episodes we had with Steven that you ask for a budget, then you end up being attacked, then you have to go back for more budgets, and it becomes a problem. So we shall look at some of the things concerning the tools, and also things to do with also honeypots. And then finally, we'll finish up with generative AI, something many are interested in. So I welcome you all to the Cyber Weekly. The Cyber Weekly is a podcast which talks about cybersecurity with me, Deogratius Okello, Angella Nabbanja, and Josephine Olok. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dale.
Yeah,
How are you doing? How are you guys doing?
good. So,
we're all right.
Josephine, talk to us about do you think that actually money can help solve the security issue, especially when it comes to tools, buying more tools?
I think the answer to that, I think, and according to the survey of CISOs that we're making reference to the show notes, I think the answer to that one is no. Because even though there's been a lot of spend on security, I think there's an estimated global spend of 214 billion. Is it billion, million? I think the answer to that is no. I think from the survey, about 44% of CISO still miss breaches. I think you find that the more tools they have, the more alerts, and it doesn't mean that they have better protection. So instead, it's more about it should be more about optimizing resources and improving visibility, especially in the hybrid cloud environment. But essentially, the idea behind the thing about spending more money really reinforces the idea that having effective security is not just about the most expensive tools. It's really about choosing the right tools and the tools which address your specific needs and which integrate these tools effectively into your overall security strategy. Part of that strategy also needs to include that human element, which is very important. I think having people who are skilled enough to interpret the data, who can respond to alerts, and who can adopt the system so that they can respond to evolving threats. Another thing is that visibility is important. I think many organizations have a lack of visibility in their data, so especially data that is in motion. So tools that enhance visibility, but particularly within encrypted traffic, are really important. Also, obviously, this reinforces the idea that it's important to optimize your tools. So before you buy new tools, you prioritize the optimization. You consolidate what you have existing in your security stack. So obviously, and maximize the value of what you've currently invested in instead of adding more value. So I guess that's a long answer, but the short answer is that more money does not mean more security.
Thank you, Josephine, for that answer. It was well detailed. And going back to an episode we've had with Gregory Richardson, he also intimated that you really don't need to buy all these tools. Anything that you hear about, you go and purchase. You're better off training staff that you have to use the tools that you have. And then when you find that maybe there's a need, then you go for it. It's just not about buying all these tools. And I would like to know, what are the CISOs focusing on to help mitigate cyber threats currently?
Okay, so I think from the article, the CISOs are really focusing on deepening their visibility. So especially with encrypted traffic which is within the hybrid clouds. 84% of those who are asked identified this as a top priority for detecting hidden threats. So in a sense, they're prioritizing improved threat detection. So it's a big concern, obviously, because as I said, 44% of CISOs are still missing data breaches. They're also prioritizing visibility into encrypted traffic. The report says 93% of malware is hiding in data in motion. So gaining visibility into this traffic is really a big focus. And then there's also prioritizing consolidation and optimizing of existing tools. 60% of the CISOs are prioritizing this in 2025 so that they can improve efficiency and reduce complexity. And then looking into hybrid cloud security, trying to secure data and infrastructure across both on-premise and cloud environments obviously remains a key challenge. I think they are really recognizing that just because you're going to spend more doesn't mean you're going to get better tools. So I think it is about consolidating and prioritizing key risk areas.
That's true.
Yeah. Then on that note, one of the steps being used by CISOs in their environment is a hybrid cloud. Do you think it's a more effective way of actually improving security?
I think it's okay. There are opportunities, I think, and there are also risks. Obviously, I think the opportunities is that you can enhance security by allowing your organization to control sensitive data which is on premise, but also then leverage the cloud, the scalability of the cloud. It helps with segmenting your data, especially when you're looking at encrypted traffic. But especially and also if you have a good integration between your cloud and on-premise security controls. But the challenges are that you have now an increased attack surface because your data is sitting across environments, multiple environments. And then, of course, you've got the complexity of securing the data that's in motion, especially data that is moving from on-premise to the cloud environment. That's something that is critical, and that is a risk. Then, of course, it's about again about having so many tools. If you have to have you have to manage security across environments, then it's quite likely that you then have more tools to use, and that makes it complicated. So the hybrid environment can be effective, but it means that you have to do careful planning, implementation, and ongoing management of both the on-premise and the cloud environment.
Thank you for that, Josephine. I think we shall move to Dale. Dale, could you please tell us about this new Microsoft honeypot?
Okay. So to first clear the air, honeypots are basically a way in which an organization or a particular company which is prone to attacks like Microsoft will set up a dummy network, which is a honeynet, a dummy system, which is a honeypot, and a dummy. There's also honeyfile. I'm forgetting the others, but yes. So it's a way of. So basically, what it does is it's a virtual environment within the actual network, or subs. It's kind of placed somewhere within the network where someone can easily access it, but it is more in a sandboxed kind of environment where we are looking at trying to find out what these people are actually doing. So if someone is attacking you, what are they actually doing? So Microsoft is one of the companies which is most attacked for obvious reasons, that there are multiple people actually using it. So this implementation of this new honeypot does help with this new age of multiple attacks, and helps circumvent some of them through learning what these culprits are actually doing.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the answer. Have you noticed that Dale normally gets the Microsoft questions?
Yes.
Yes, I do get the
So
Microsoft question.
Oh, you have an attachment to
I
Microsoft.
do have an attachment.
Okay, I was just thinking about this. Anyway, that's why I was hesitating. But okay, so what's so you
uh,
what is so unique? What makes the honeypot unique, Dale?
well, first of all, it it allows people to actually access it, meaning it doesn't have two-factor authentication. So someone will actually access it normally, and then they'll start, trying to attack. For close to 30 days, the environment can act like the real environment. So basically, as you are doing that, they are learning what you're actually doing. So during that whole process, all that information is being given to the SOC, and they're able to come up with better ways of circumventing some of those attacks. And by the time you're done, they have gotten a lot of information from you. So that's what makes this entirely unique.
Okay, Dale. So is it safe to say Microsoft will be able to eliminate many threats?
Yes, they say when it comes to security, the more the better. So the more they improve some of these systems, helps improve the security of the organization, and helps also mitigate many of the attack surfaces. A good example would be if you already know you're going to be attacked, why don't you set up a honeypot which is going to give you information of how the the person is going to behave around your network, what is he going to do. So that is why sometimes people always see open ports for some of those networks, and then they will try to attack it, and not knowing that someone is actually
It's a
studying
honey.
you in the process. Yeah, so they're usually honeypots. So that's a very good and unique way of of circumventing any of the attacks. However, it's not the only way of doing that, because we have to also look at things like having bug bounty programs, because those ones are also proving to be very effective in terms of circumventing some of those attacks.
Yeah, thank you. I just have a feeling that people have a way of circumventing these honeypots. I don't know why I think that, but the way I feel it's so obvious that it's. I mean, obviously now we know that the honeypots are there to catch the bad actors, but we know it and they probably know it as well. So I'm sure they'll be looking they're not going to look to get caught in those honeypots.
I would counter your argument by saying, let's say you are trying to access one of the administrator accounts on Google, or let's say on Microsoft, since this is about Microsoft. Then you put in the default credentials, maybe admin, then all of a sudden you're given access. Technically, you may think that you actually have access, but you're actually in a honeypot system where they're actually starting to collect information about your behaviors on the network. So yes, but if I also look at it as an adversary, uh, there are also other ways of actually still attacking someone through maybe attacking the employees in the organization. So I can't say this is a 100% solution to all the incidents that can happen, but it's a step in the right direction.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I
as
mean,
a red
it's
team member, that now you're in the honeypot or in the real network?
I didn't get you, Angela.
Oh, I'm saying as a red team member, how do you know that you're now on the honeypot or you're now on the real network?
Well, it depends. So now, if they're very, it's actually quite hard sometimes, because now let's say you access a network and it has all the information. Now, like the one for Microsoft. So that could also be suspicious if you access a network and everything is there for you to
Like,
check.
no,
So
can
it's
easy.
maybe looking too good to be true. So yeah, that could be a very good flag of maybe you have not yet actually gotten anything. So
Maybe that honeypot too good to be
exactly.
true.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're wise on it, because it's so, if it's that easy, it's like, listen, I'm hacking into Microsoft, but surely it should be harder than this.
yeah,
But anyway,
Mm.
if it catches something, then at least it's, as you said, it's a step in the right direction.
yeah.
Yeah. So on to generative AI threat response. Um, Angela, do you think generative AI is effective in threat response?
Thank you, Josephine, for that. I, as a huge user of generative AI, I really believe that it was invented to make our lives easy. And yes, it's effective in threat response, as these generative AI models can be trained on such large data sets, and they can be used to identify anomalies and suspicious activities that indicate cyber threats in real time. So I really think it's effective.
So this one is now hitting home because some of us are doing this work. So do you believe AI can take over a SOC analyst job or a cybersecurity analyst? Answer this question wisely,
So
because some of us may be out of jobs.
yes, you are in the right group to use AI in the right way to make your life easier. You shouldn't be worried that it's going to replace you. Obviously, it cannot replace you as those. They only what they are taught. So that human element to make crucial decisions, that can't be taken away. That can't be replaced. So I don't believe AI will replace SOC analysts. It will just enable them to do their work better, make it easy. As it can be used to automate cybersecurity responses, incident responses. It can be used to analyze large data sets like logs, which would take you, a whole hour. I see SOC analysts working overnight. Once you start deploying tools with generative AI, I think they can give you reports now that can lessen your work to go through all those logs, and so you based on those reports to make that now the human decision. So that's what I believe.
Yeah, I think AI will not replace the SOC analyst, but it will replace the SOC analyst who doesn't understand how to
Use
use AI.
Oh my goodness.
and you're still talking about, oh, I'm working overnight, or I'm analyzing, see what I'm doing. So
Yeah,
how
it's
to
supposed
use
to help you be a better SOC analyst. But if you don't know how to use it, then you'll definitely be replaced by that SOC analyst who knows how to use AI effectively. Yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh, what are some of the benefits of using generative AI in threat response, Angela?
Okay. Yes. So as someone who likes making life easy, I like that you can automate processes. Like generative AI can help you automate scripts that can be used to isolate affected systems in case of a cyber attack, and also real-time response when it can help you block malicious traffic or quarantining files that are affected. Also generating reports. I'm sure so many people struggle with writing reports, but it helps you generate comprehensive, concise reports that can be used to now make decisions, speeding up decision processes. Yes, so I believe those are some of the benefits that really stood out for me. Any generative AI tools you would want to recommend to our listeners?
Our listeners, generative AI. I think no, I don't have any.
So we are really against it.
I don't have any.
Do you feel safe using generative AI?
A bit. Depends on the circumstance.
Yeah. Depending on the
and depends on what I'm prompting it to tell me. So
and depending on the AI policy of your organization. But
exactly.
As these models are trained, they have all their signatures that you have to check against. You don't have to really invent the wheel. Or you just want to show people you're working hard. You can make your life simpler by using all these tools.
Maybe I just want to show that I'm working.
You want to show. But then also the challenges that I feel like generative AI poses are like the false negatives, because once you trust it so much and then you miss false negatives and then things go sour. So still, you see, the human element doesn't go away, because you still have to analyze and see if you're missing anything.
Yeah,
and then also
the biggest worry might be is the element of data protection, and where is this information going, and how is this information
policy
being harnessed. So I think the key thing for me would be, when you are dealing with these AIs, you also have to think of your what is it called, that agreement for usage
privacy.
Accept for use or NDA, no?
End user, no, I'm forgetting it, but it's a usage policy, which is a guarantee that this organization is going to do this and this and this, and this is not what it's supposed to do. So yeah,
but some of the AI tools still also have that agreement of, like, if you don't want your data to be used for training the bots, you don't agree to that.
Yeah, that is the biggest worry. But
But I think the issue is you don't share data that is confidential. Otherwise, it'll train on that data and then share it with others. But I think also I was gonna say that using AI, you need to use it from a basis of knowledge. So, for instance, if you're asking questions about AI, you should at least have a rough idea what to expect. Because if you don't know what to expect, it's going to give you whatever, and you will think it's a good answer because it's well written and all that, but it could be absolutely rubbish. So you need to be there as a human to know what you're asking, or you're using it to cut through to save you some time in doing something, but you're not going to use it as when you're starting from zero from some point of knowledge. So it is important that people are not heavily reliant on it to the extent that they're not thinking, or they're using it to learn. I think that's dangerous, because it can't get things wrong. It is only a software which is using data that it's been trained on, and it can make mistakes. It can make some big mistakes. So you need to have that balance between knowing that it could be wrong, but using it to perhaps fast track some things which are not necessarily very complicated. It could be drafting a letter because you want to quickly send out a letter, drafting a report, or getting a format of a report, and then filling in the gaps, but not starting from a point of zero to say, okay, now I'm going to do I want AI to give me all the answers when you don't have any yourself. Yeah. So I think
true.
that is, so that's why it's dangerous for school kids, because they think that AI is
They won't learn it. And they have
they
pick up on it. Why would I read 10 articles? I'll just go to ChatGPT. But then also in cybersecurity, I found that it's dangerous to rely on it only because there are now 0-day attacks that the bots are not trained on. So there has to be a knowledgeable SOC analyst to analyze that and mitigate such attacks.
But to some point,
Exactly.
if you think of the 0-day attacks, they're unique at one point, and then they're also their behaviors also unique. And some of these bots, the way they're trained, it's able to pick up on that. At least it will flag it to you, but it's you now to go through and be like, is this actually now something which requires proper handling? So yes, there's more of, I think we need to find that proper balance of knowing when to use it and when not to use it.
Yeah.
Yes. So other than that, I recommend. Should we do Gregory? Yeah, Gregory Richardson's episode.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
So talked about AI broadly. So that's a good episode to check out.
As well as security tools, end-to-end security tools.
Yeah.
And not just buying the latest shiny gadget because somebody says, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So other than that, see you all in the next episode.
Okay. Thank you.